Hey guys, Sean, Leslie Liver Dummies, Umarex, Glock17 Gen 5. It's been a minute. Long story short, I put in a 1.4 millimeter heavy torsion spring into the hammer in this marker, and my slide kept lifting off, causing all kinds of problems. I have new, heavier spring for the blowback spring installed. I don't know what it's gonna do. It's about 5 degrees cooler now than when I was originally testing. My best numbers were 210 feet per second with a 5.5 gram steel ball bearing. During the initial testing of the hammer spring, my velocity was kind of all over the place, and I tried my other mag and that was all over the place. So I came to the conclusion that it had to do with this slide lifting off, but I have another theory, and that may be there's a blowback seal. Well, I'll tell you what, let's just see what it does. And then I'll pull the slide off on the bench here and I'll just show you what I've got done. I kind of hit a wall here, and I think that's why I'm chasing a larger CO2. Again, blah, 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 blah. All right. 5.5 gram steel ball bearings. Fresh, unpunctured CO2. I will puncture it as I insert. I think it punctured. It's the only thing when you're doing this, all the clanking and clicking, can't really hear if it punctured. So let's see. Oh yeah, this is a lightened valve spring in here. $204. Well, that is better than I was getting, so maybe it was that slide return. Actually, I had this pressed on there too. I shouldn't have. 174. 174. 158. 150. 146. 144. 142, and I think that was the last one. It was. Just out of curiosity though, heavy springs tend to shorten this blowback action. So even though it may not have depleted the entire CO2, I found that it actually stalls the marker out and causes malfunctions, even though there may be half a 12 gram left. So we'll just see what happens here. They're just gonna be blank fires. Well, I'll just stop there because that's just getting stupid. All right, I'll throw it on the bench here and we'll have a look at what's going on and where I'm going next. So while everybody's playing with their Mercury Rise Intra Busters, I'm still here with my lovely 43 cal. So the hammer spring in here is like 0.4 millimeters thicker than the original factory hammer spring. It is quite stiff to pull back. And also the return blowback spring is also very heavy. Now, when I didn't have the correct spring in here in this heavy hammer, the way this works, so you can see the bottom of the firing pin here, or the housing that's holding it. It actually, that ramped area right there is what draws, as the marker blows back, sets your hammer. So being this spring is really, really tough now, as my marker was blowing back, it was actually lifting the slide off because this spring wasn't strong enough. Now, heavy hammer, heavy drive, not much results, right? Now I'm gonna try and explain this just briefly. There are two stops in this marker that prevent a long depression of the valve pin in your magazine. The first one is built into the pin itself. You can see it has this taper. So it doesn't matter how long your firing pin is, or if you extend it, you're always gonna hit that tapered stop. That's how you break a firing pin. The other way is, the other stop that's built into this is, well, when your hammer strikes this, it only depresses that pin so far forward. Making it longer is just gonna cause you to hit this stop sooner and break your firing pin. You see, it's like a yin and a yang thing going on here. Way around that is a valve stem, valve pin that doesn't have this taper. I haven't been successful yet on that. I did manage to drill out, I don't know which one it is. I got another one here. Drill one of these out a little bit. I guess what I'm trying to say here is the springs, they're not doing anything at this point. They have shortened the blowback function, which I think is part of the equation, but it needs more air. It needs more pressure. And that's where, I'm trying to convert one of these magazines to take a larger CO2, hopefully to get, that initial expansion much higher, and also create some volume. And that is about it. It's not as simple as tossing some springs in here and away you go. Some of you guys have posted some good results with the PDP, and yeah, unmodified, or just with a lightened valve spring in your valve. Not any better than what I've accomplished here after mucking around, but as I said, maybe these are part of the equation that I have yet to discover. As is, the marker is still functioning, but I really need to get at the magazine. So if I keep talking, you'll just have to wait longer. So that's all I got for now.